Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we're looking at the new Spring 2023 anime season. I'll be talking about which animes I'll be watching, which ones I think will be good, and which ones I'll think will be bad. But before that, I want to give a brief apology because I took a long break from making videos. This was because I took a long vacation and then I had a few issues, but everything's settled now. So with that said, let's move on with the video. Well, as always, we have some really strong animes coming back. Of course, if you haven't seen the newest special, the 1 hour special for Attack on Titan, you should be watching that. Of course, the new season of Demon Slayer is coming back, and I heard this one has a really good opening from my favorite band, Man with a Mission. So, of course, I have to be watching that, and you know, the animation is top notch all the time. Then we have the spin off of Konosuba, this one focusing on Megumi. I'm really not sure how it's going to turn out. So far, I've loved all the seasons from Konosuba, but I do think that the first one was the strongest, and later on, the jokes kind of get repetitive. So I'm hoping it doesn't go that way and tries to be more unique. But we will see how it goes. I do think it will still be really funny and amazing. Then we have the third season of Doctor Stone. So far, the first two seasons were really good, and the special about getting the guy who makes boats was really interesting. So I do hope that this third season will keep up that good work and be as interesting as the first few seasons. And of course, try to focus more on the chemical reactions and all the different technological advancements that the guy makes rather than the fighting. Because I think that's one of the major reasons why so many people are interested in this one. Then we have the second season of In Another World with My Smartphone. I'm not gonna lie, I watched the first season and I enjoyed it. I think it's a bit, how to say, generic, but it's still fun. I think it's just an isekai, and if you have watched the first season, I think you will watch the second one. It's really nothing unique. It's just like fun isekai activities with not too many stakes on it. Just a guy having fun with his harem. I think it's fine. If you like it the first season, you will like the second one. If not, give it a try the first seasons. Check a few episodes, and if you don't like it, yeah, I think it is one of the ones that if you watch 3 episodes, you will know if it's for you or not. Then we have the second season of Over the Moon with You. I really love this one. I think it's a really cute story about a guy and a girl, and instead of just the guy trying like to slowly get his love, they directly marry. And in the first episode, they are already married. They are living together. They are having like the couple struggles and everything like that. There's a bit of mystery about the girl, about like maybe she's a girl from the moon or something like that. But aside from that, I think it's just a really cute story about romance, about two married guys. Next one is Isekai Chitsukill wo Tenishita Orewa. Let's see what it says. A chance to come back. A mysterious door opens, inviting a boy who's been brutally bullied all his life to take a courageous step forward into the unknown. On the other side, he finds a horde of priceless artifacts and a world as filled with magic as it's with monsters. The most shocking revelation, however, is that he can bring whatever he wants back with him when he returns to Earth. It won't be long before his double life changes him forever. This is maybe a revenge story about a guy who saves the world and then he comes back and becomes OP. I hope it goes that route. Because if it's just the typical isekai where the guy has OP skills and then he's just fighting monsters and then the demon lord, we have seen this so many times. But if it's about a guy that comes back to Earth after fighting the demon lord and he keeps his ability, I think there's still a few animes that have done this kind of shows already, but there's not too many, and especially in recent times. So I hope it goes that route and it gives us something unique and different rather than the typical isekai stories. But we will see. Next one, Isekai Shoukan wa Nidome desu. I think I've heard of this one. There was once a hero who summoned to another world, and he saved that world. However, that man was caught in a trap and was forcibly returned to his original world. On top of that, he had to start over as a baby. This is a story of a crazy journey in another world where a former hero who was reincarnated into a slightly gloomy guy is resummoned back to that same world. But I checked out this one already. I think I read the original web novel for this one. I think it's a typical isekai. They do come back as the guy that after fighting, he returns as a baby, he grows, and then he keeps most of his abilities, I think, but then, like, he pretends not to do anything. But then, like, his whole class gets summoned back again. And then after that, he's trying, like, to stay away, pretending to be weak. And he meets, like, with a few people, and then he finds out that uh, the world is in chaos again, and the humans are fighting the demon lord, even though I think the demon lord was in love with him too or something like that. So yeah, it's a typical isekai. I think this is like the typical trashy isekai, but I think this is the typical isekai, trashy isekai of the season. I think this one will still be good. I think the story is not that bad. It's kind of generic, but it still has its good points. So I think a lot of people will like this one, and I think it will be standing above the more generic ones that maybe you're not interested, especially if it's like second seasons like the Isekai Smartphone. But I think we'll see. For me, I will watch it, but I understand if some people are not into generic trashy isekais. Then we have the second season of Ancient Magus Bride. Have to say that I thought this one was over. I thought the first season covered most of what I was interested in and it had like a fulfilling ending. So I'm interested where the story is going to move forward. I did watch the OVA about the Wild Hunt, but so far I really don't see where else it could go. From the image, it looks like she's going to school or something like that. But personally, I just don't want to get spoiled with the plot, so I will just keep watching it. I think this one's really good. I really like the drama and the love in this one. And I think sprinkled with like that kind of like dark magic stories was also really good. So yeah, I think this is really good. If you haven't watched the first season, I recommend you to watch it. And yeah, I will be watching the second season. Second season of Kuma Kuma Bear. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched the first one, it's just about a girl that's supposed to be trapped in a world of a video game or something like that. I'm not. I was never sure if she was trapped in the video game or if she just was living her life in the video game that became also reality, but she can get out whenever she wants. I'm really not sure where the plot goes, but the main point is that she's living all her life there, and she gets this really powerful suit of a bear that makes her invincible, and she can like basically defeat anything she wants, and she has really OP abilities. And it's just about her going through life, going to different villages or cities and doing a lot of different stuff, saving people, fighting monsters, and just doing whatever she wants. I think it's a really cute story, just cute girls having cute fun, nothing too out of the ordinary, but I still be watching it. If you like this type of stories with not too much blood and just mainly cute girls doing cute stuff, but also isekai, I think this is for you. Next we had Mashle. Well, this one is really unique. I've heard of this one before. I've seen a few images of the trailers, and I also had, when I went to Japan, I bought a Shonen Jump magazine and this one was there. And I have to say, the art looked amazing. So I'm interested in this one. I think the story mainly is about a guy that lives in a world of magic, but he doesn't have any magic. But what he has is that he's really strong. He trains every day and he is really fit and he has a lot of muscle. So rather than using magic, he just punches the people while they are like enchanting, like talking, using their enchantments to create magic. So he stops them and he just beats the shit out of them. So I think this one will be really fun. So yeah, let's see what it says. This is a world of magic. This is a world in which magic is casually used by everyone. In a deep, dark forest in this world of magic, there is a boy who is single-mindedly working out. His name is Mash Burndead, and he has a secret. He can't use magic. All he wanted was to live a quiet life with his family, but people suddenly start trying to kill him one day and he somehow finds himself enrolled in magic school. There he sets his sights on becoming a divine visionary, the elite of the elite. will his ripped muscles work against the best and brightest of the wizarding world? The curtain rises of this off-killer magical fantasy in which the power of being jacked crushes any spell. Yeah, I think this will be good. Shonen Jump never misses, and from what I've seen, the few images that I saw in the Shonen Jump manga and what I've seen in the trailers, this looks to be really funny, but also really unique in its Shonen Jump type of action. So yeah, I have high expectations for this one. I really don't know why it's so low in the standings because I think it should be way higher. Next one, Tensai Kisoku no Isekai Bokenroku Jichou wo Shinrenai Kamigami no Shito. Never heard of this one. Shina Kazuya is killed protecting a young girl at a convenience store where he just happens to be there at the wrong time. The next thing he knows, he's in a kind of world he's in the kind of world that he's only dreamed about, a world of magic and swords. He has been reincarnated as Cain von Silford, the third son of an aristocratic family, and he quickly grows interested in many things as he sees. Then, on his fifth birthday, he's baptized as a church according to the tradition, and the gods grant him several divine blessings, along with stats that could only be described as unusual and extraordinary, of course. In his reincarnated life, when it comes to things like battles, romance, and studying, apparently a little overkill is just right. When he puts his usual effort to do things punctually and properly, it only gets him in trouble. Thus, Cain's chaotic life in another world begins. This looks like a trashy, generic isekai. I think this is the third trashy, generic isekai that we have seen this season. So yeah, of course, as in any season, you're expecting to have a lot of trashy isekais. So yeah, I think I'll be watching it because I love trashy isekais. But yeah, I understand if people don't watch it. I do think that this is the most generic out of the ones that we have watched. So we will see. Next one, we have the highly acclaimed Oshinoko. This one has to be what everybody's waiting for. I have no idea why this is so low. This has to be the most hyped anime I've heard in a while, especially after a Chainsaw Man, of course. This one, I heard so much good things about this one. So yeah, let's talk about it. This one, I will just read the plot. I think it is insane as it will look. When a pregnant young starlet appears in a Goro Samemiya's countryside medical clinic, the doctor takes it upon himself to safely deliver Ai Oshino's child so she can make a scandal-free return to stage. But no good deed goes unpunished, and on the eve of her delivery, he finds himself slain at the hands of Ai's deluded stalker, and subsequently reborn as Ai's child, Aquamarine Hoshino. The glitz of glamour of showbiz hide the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry, threatening to kill the shine of his favorite star. Can he help his new mother rise to the top of the charts? And what will he do when an unthinkable disaster strikes? Yeah, from what I heard, the whole story is about this guy who is a fan of this idol, and the guy is a gynecologist, and he finds out that the idol is going to have a baby. So yeah, basically he gets killed and reincarnated as her baby. But the baby, like, there's twins. So there's another baby from somebody else who also reincarnated as a baby, and she was also a fan of the idol. And then there's the idea of the stalker who wants to kill him. Oh well, the stalker that killed him, and he's also lurking in the shadows. But there's also the mystery of who is the dad. So yeah, this is going to be a really interesting drama seinen story, because this is not for kids. This is supposed to be a really adult anime that focuses on a lot of deep topics. So yeah, especially it focuses on the struggles of idols and the really dark tones of the entertainment industry. So yeah, I really think this is going to be a really good anime, and I heard the first episode is going to be a 1 hour special, because everything that happens until he dies and gets reincarnated as a baby, it happens in the first episode. It happens in the first hour, and it takes a bit of time for it to like start running. So yeah, I think this will be really good, and you have to give the first episode a try. And after you watch it, I'm sure you will be hooked. Next, we have Hell's Paradise. I heard of this one, but I have no idea what the plot is about. I just heard it's really good and apparently it's highly praised by a lot of people. So it says, the Edo period is nearing its end. Gambiru, a shinobi formerly known as the strongest in Iwakagure, who is now on a death row convict, is told that he will be acquitted and set free if he can bring back the elixir of life from an island that is rumored to be the Buddhist Pure Land Sukhavati. In hopes of returning with his beloved wife, Gambiru heads to the island along with the executioner Yamada Semono Sagiri. Upon arriving there, they encounter other death row convicts in search of the elixir of life, as well as the host of unknown creatures, eerie man-made statues, and the hermit who rules the island. Can Gabimaru find the elixir of life on this mysterious island and make it back home alive? Yeah, this is basically a battle royale where the prize is to get the elixir of life and get free of their the death row status. So yeah, I think this one will be really good. I expect a lot of it. I think it will be really action packed. And yeah, if everybody says it's good, I do hope that it lives up to that expectations. Next one, Yamada-kun to level 999 no Koi wo Suru. I think this one in English is called Loving Yamada at level 999 or something like that. I mean, it's made by Madhouse, so it has to be good. Right, guys? We'll see. Recently dumped, Akane is just about to quit the game she used to play with her boyfriend when she meets Yamada in the same RPG. Yamada in real life turns out to be somewhat of a legend. The only problem is he's only interested in the game. As Akane's feelings grow, will Yamada focus stay on the game? Love comedy, okay. It looks interesting. I do love my love comedies. I think this one kind of gives a unique premise. We have seen a few animes already that focus on the girl that falls in love with a guy, then in a video game, and then try to be together in real life. I think I can think of two already. I think the one is something about junkies. I really don't remember the names. I will just put the images here. But yeah, I think this has been done already, but it still looks fine. And this one looks focusing more on the romance side. So we will see how it goes. But I do think I will be watching this one. Next one, I think it's the side story of Ranking of Kings. I have no idea what the side story will be about, but I do love watching Ranking of Kings. I think it's top 5 animes that I have ever watched, in my opinion. I think this is one of the best animes I watched, and yeah, if there's any side story, I'll be watching that. And I think you should too, because this one, I just love the story of this one. Next one is Yusha ga Shinda. Far to the north of the world lies Hell's Gate, a portal formerly used by the Demon Lord to invade the human realm. Thanks to the legendary hero Shion Bladeheart, wielder of the Excalibur, and his loyal band of companions, the gate was sealed off and the demonic threat was vanquished. Unfortunately, the seal was incomplete and has begun to weaken, allowing the demons to once again begin their attack. Worried about the safety of this village, selfish and perverted farmer Toka Scott digs pitfalls to defend against the demons, but fear not, for Shion is on his way to reseal Hell's Gate and save humanity. Or at least he was, because the legendary hero is dead. Having fallen into one of the pitfalls, Toka Dog, luckily dealing with the dead is the specialty of a necromancer, Henry Ainsworth. While she can't revive him, Henry can at least solve the request by forcing Toka's soul into Shion, rooting body and dragging him along to Hell's Gate in Shion's place. Not wanting to be left behind, Toka's childhood friend Juna Yunis tags along. Together, the three of them sets out as what just might be the most unsuitable party to ever try to save the world. Okay, this just looks like the ecchi anime of the season. Just a guy with a few girls, of course a harem. I mean, at least that's a unique premise. A guy that wants to save the world, but he's really perverted. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. As long as the ecchi is done tastefully, I really don't mind. But most of the times, it's not. So we will see. I hope it turns out to be well. Next one. Isekai One Turn Kill Nessan. It looks nice. The strongest one in this alternate world isn't me, but my older sister. Asahi, a boy who loves video games, is killed in a traffic accident and ends up in another world. He tries to enjoy the other world, the adventure life he always dreamed of, but his stats are one of the level of an NPC. He's being troubled and being chased by a monster when he hears "Fear not, little brother," and the monster is killed in one hit by Asahi's older sister Maya, who followed Asahi to this world. So Maya has acquired some seriously OP skills, but he takes her adoration of her younger brother to extremes. Thus begins our story about an overpowered older sister with a brother complex and a younger brother with the weakest of stats in another world where man is man, I'm strong becomes man, my sister is strong. Okay, this feels like the MILF anime reskinned as the Onesan anime. Yeah, it just looks like the guy is really average, and his sister, who apparently loves him, it's the OP character that it's taking care of everything and protecting her little brother. So yeah, it just feels like the MILF Isekai just done again, but instead of MILFs, we have Onechans. And yeah, you can see just by the looks of it, there's a lot of girls with big boobs. So yeah, it will be that kind of show. But we'll see. I will give it an opportunity at least. Next one, Boku no Kokoro no Yabai Yatsu. Fascinated by murder and all things macabre, Kyotaro daydreams of acting out his twisted fantasies of his unsuspecting classmates. But an encounter with Ana Yamada, the gorgeous class idol, lights a spark in the darkness of his heart. It's a classic tale of an antisocial boy falling for a popular girl, but neither are who they appear to be at first glance. Will Kyotaro and Anna defy their expectations of each other and of themselves? It just looks like a slice of life comedy with a bit of romance. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's just a rom com, the usual rom com with like kind of twist. I think the other rom com of the season looks better, but yeah, I will give it an opportunity. I think it's fine. I think there should be more rom coms. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Next one, Otonari ni Ginga. Ever since their father died, Ichiro Kuga has struggled to support his two younger siblings on nothing but a small inheritance and his passion for drawing manga. But it's becoming harder to keep up with his growing responsibilities and deadlines, especially after his last two assistants quit to follow their dreams. Just as he's nearing his breaking point, the beautiful and scarily competent Shiroi Goshiki applies to become his new assistant. But there's something almost otherworldly about Goshiki, and soon Kuga finds his reality turned upside down when she suddenly declares them to be engaged to marry. I think it looks, again, a rom-com. It just looks to be on the older side, so maybe we'll see a bit more of progress, because usually in the rom-coms there's just the guy knows that the girl is in love with him and he also has feelings for her, but they really never move forward, because if they move forward the show would just end. But maybe they can start to develop a relationship slowly and move a bit forward faster because they are more adults. But yeah, I don't expect too much from it, but we'll see. Next one is Dead Mount Dead Play. It's a showdown for the ages as the legendary hero takes on the corpse god Necromancer, but when the dust settles, something isn't quite right. In the final moments of their epic confrontation, the corpse god final gambit shot was wholly unexpected. Reincarnation magic. Across space and time, a boy named Polka Shinoyama awakens feeling not quite himself. Who could have expected that the climatic battle between good and evil would turn out like this? Okay, I think it's got my attention. The characters look interesting. It looks to be a bit more dark. It says it's a seinen supernatural with a bit of fantasy and action. So yeah, I think there should be more seinen stories. I think the last one that we got was Platinum End, and I thought that one was kind of a letdown, especially in the second part of the story. So yeah, I hope this one turns out good. But yeah, I really don't expect too much on seinen animes, but I'm happy to be surprised. And of course, the second season of The Witch from Mercury. I really don't know why this is so low. I thought the first season was one of the highlights when it came out. It was really good one, and I really thought it bring more people into the Mobile Suit Gundam stories because that one was new and unique, and especially how the first season ended. If you know, you know. So yeah, I think I'll be watching that one, and I think you should give it an opportunity. I think the story is quite good. I think the animation is uh, beautiful. So yeah, if it keeps going that way, then you should be giving it an opportunity. Next one is Kanojo wa Koshikakute ni ita Ryu. Enuha Park thought she was getting another chance at life when she awoke in a world of a novel. The only problem, Raylenia Macmillan, the character she was reborn as, is fated to be killed by her fiance. For the sake of her survival, she comes up with an idea: get into a fake marriage with a man more powerful than her groomed to be. But when that protection comes in the form of Noah Wind Knight, the Duke with a warm smile and a cold heart, Raylina realizes she might be a bit in over her head. She's going to regret the plan, isn't she? Oh, uh, another villainous story. I have to say that for me, I love the villainous stories. I think they are one of the best ones to came out. This is like the new genre that has come out lately, and so far I really have enjoyed all of them. This one looks to be kind of like the other ones, but yeah, I think there's not enough villainous isekai animes. So I think, yeah, we should give more love to the villainous isekai stories. Yeah, I will be watching this one. And if you haven't watched it, if you have not watched any villainous, I would recommend you to check some of them out, especially the most common one about my Dead Flag Show No Sign of Ending. So if you are into that kind of stories, I'm sure you will be watching this one. If not, I do recommend you to check some of the villainous anime arcs. Next one is My Home Hero. I've heard of this one, and the plot looks really unique. So yeah, let's talk about it. The story centers on a salaryman who has a reliable wife and a daughter in university who can sometimes act as a bit rebellious, but has a happy life in his own way. Until one day he finds out his daughter has been beaten, and thus begins his journey into a dangerous world to protect his family. I think the basic plot is that his daughter gets into a bit of trouble with the yakuza, so a yakuza guy beats her up, and then the guy decides to beat the guy because, of course, he beat his daughter. But then after that, the yakuza start harassing him, so he starts to fight back and like trying to find ways to protect his family against the yakuzas. So yeah, I think the plot for this one is really unique. I think it's a really dark story, especially for a more adult viewing. So yeah, I really love this kind of stories. I think this premise is really unique, and I heard it's really good. So yeah, I think I'll be watching this one. And yeah, if you are more into the adult type of stories, I think this one's for you. Next one is Kaminaki Sekai no Kamisama Katsudo. Yukito's parents are the leaders of a cult. After he gets sacrificed, he gets reincarnated into another world where religion doesn't exist, and porn books are akin to childhood doodles. He finds that he's also a world where your life and death is decided by the country. While obstructing his friend's execution, both of them lose their lives just at that moment. The god of his religion comes to their world and revives them? What? I don't know, this looks really weird. It says it's an ecchi, and of course, if porn is child's doodles, of course it has to be an ecchi anime. I don't know, this gives me the vibes of Shimoneta, and yeah, I really don't know what to think about this one. If the plot is what it says and it does it in a tasteful way, I think it will be really interesting. I do think Shimoneta was fun, but sometimes it wasn't that tasteful. So as long as it knows how to push the buttons for the edgy side of things, and focus on more comedy things while not trying to push too much ecchi, I think this one will be good, but we'll see. Next one is Aono Orchestra. In the fall of his third year and final year of middle school, Hajime Aono, a violin prodigy, stopped playing violin for his own personal reasons. But it was all the year when he got to know a girl who told him about high school with a prestigious school orchestra. Suddenly, his years in the clock of Aono's life begin to turn again. This is the story of a youth drama that brings forth the harmony between music and the heart. A drama with music looks interesting. I think if it's anything like Hibike Euphonium, then I think it will be good. It gives me that kind of vibes, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. And then we have the second season of Birdie Wing. I mean, this is just basically a shonen anime with golf. It's just basically two girls that like one of the girls it's like an underground golf player that fights the mafia and different kind of groups using golf, but then later on it becomes like a school event where they are just playing golf for schools. And the girl, for some reason, I remember this scene so clearly. She is from another country, like a European country or something like that, and then she comes to Japan, and then they ask her something, and she answers in Japanese, and they are like, "Oh, can you speak Japanese?" And then she goes like, I guess I can, and then never talk about it again. I think this is so funny. I think it's like unintentionally funny, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really boring, but I think it has its good times. But yeah, if you're into shonen golf animes, you should give it a try. And well, I think those are all the animes for the spring 2023 anime seasons that I'll be watching. If you think that I missed something, then well, please let me know in the comments below. So far, I think there are some really good ones. I did find some interesting ones that I think not too many people are talking, and especially because they are so low in the popularity ranking, like My Home Hero. So if you haven't not heard of those ones, I recommend you to give them a try. And yeah, I think this season it's looking to be better than the last one. I think there are some really good hidden gems, a lot of trashy isekai, but a lot of really good animes, and especially the returning animes, the big ones that are coming in Demon Slayer, Doctor Stone, and the spin-off of Konosuba. I think there's a lot for everyone. So yeah, I think that's everything for me. I'll be seeing you guys in the next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.